here for Jason. Good morning and welcome to Lombardi Field, or known as the Outdoor Knights Chamber. Now, introducing our leader, the Dr. Vincent Tassel. All right, thank you, Mr. Tora and Mr. Rothbach. Good morning and welcome officially to Old Bridge High School's class of 2020 commencement exercises. Let's hear it for the class of 2020. It's going to be a hot one, and ceremony is going to be about 45 minutes, just so you know, so plan accordingly. At this time, I would ask everyone to please rise. Mr. Matt Salutatorian will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Dr. Tassel. Would everybody please rise, which we already did. Gentlemen, would you please take off your caps? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Solokowski. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to recognize our distinguished guests who have joined us this morning. I ask that you please hold your applause until all guests are introduced. From our Old Bridge Board of Education, Vice President, Mrs. Jill DeCaro, Mrs. Teresa Burns, Mr. Sal Giordano, Mr. Matt Solokowski. From our Central Administration, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David Cittadino, our Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Kathleen Hoker, and our High School Administration, Vice Principals, Mrs. Sally Fazio, and Mr. James Oliveri, and Mr. Richard Mazur. Thank you all. Once again, good morning, and welcome to the commencement exercises, Part 4 of Old Bridge High School, class of 2020. The Board of Education, the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David Cittadino, faculty and staff, and I thank all of them in attendance today, join me in greeting the parents, guardians, grandparents, family, and friends of the graduating class. Friends and family, both here and at home, we extend our congratulations to each of you on the accomplishments of the young men and women seated before us. For the class of 2020, orange became our new purple, and a reminder that every individual in our school matters. We found strength in each other during difficult times and hope in the promise for a brighter tomorrow. We recognize the value of living each day in service to others, and the class of 2020 has set the stage for a much greater purpose while understanding that each new day is a gift, and each of us should appreciate life just a little more. I truly feel a lifelong bond with the class of 2020. I think back often to our class meeting in the auditorium in September. We laughed, we cried, and we walked out of that room together, ready to have the best year of our lives. Little did we know, but months later, our world would change once again, and for a second time in less than a year, our hope was put to the test. During these unsettling times, I find comfort in the strength of the young men and women before us. I am confident that one or two, or honestly, I pray that all of you will provide the positive leadership that is needed to heal our past wounds and preserve the rights and freedoms of all humans from this day forward. Class of 2020, I challenge you to be strong. Be courageous and do not be discouraged. Stand firm in the relationships you have forged with each other for encouragement, refreshment, and growth. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Class of 2020, be safe. And whatever you choose to do it with all of your heart. And remember, wherever your life may take you, the doors of our house will forever remain open. Once a night, always a night. God bless, and go Knights. At this time, I would like to introduce our salutatorian for the class of 2020. He spoke at yesterday's commencement exercises, and I am so proud and honored. Number 2 out of 729, the salutatorian for Old Bridge High School's class of 2020, Ryan Chowdhury. Also joining us today, our valedictorian, 1 out of 729. Absolutely amazing. A 3-sport athlete and truly someone that I admire. Our valedictorian for the class of 2020, Old Bridge High School, is Jordan Totten.
It's hot out and I'm really nervous, so I'll try to keep this short. When Dr. Tassel stopped by to deliver my cord and pin, he told me in my speech I could summarize the past 4 years as a starting point. I don't know what he was thinking because I was studying the whole time. What would I know? Now, I am kidding, because for as much time as I devoted to academics, I spent the same amount in sports and other extracurriculars. That was one of my favorite things about Old Bridge. I never had to choose between school, sports, and clubs because I had teachers and coaches who supported me and wanted to see me succeed. I am grateful to them, especially the ones who went out of their way to check up on me, to make sure that I was truly okay and not just going through the motions. I think many of us can agree that high school can be overwhelming at times. Without some of these teachers listening to me and offering advice, I wouldn't have been able to keep pushing towards my goals. As a whole, Old Bridge has some pretty amazing staff. What other towns have a sandwich named after their principal? And in what other towns can you eat said sandwich with the principal in his office along with all your friends? This administration cares about its students beyond test scores and daily attendance. Without them, this unprecedented graduation would not be possible, and we'd likely have seen the last of our classmates on that day way back in March without realizing it. So to Mr. Ciudino and Dr. Hoker, thank you for your unconditional support. And to Dr. Sasso, Mrs. Fazio, Mr. Oliveri, and Mr. Mazurek, thank you for working so hard to make the end of our senior year as amazing as possible. I'd also like to take a moment to thank my family. My brother has taught me patience, a lot of patience. But he's also shown me how to be kind, and was there for me on late nights, for late night talks on stressful days. To the 2 people who raised me to pursue my dreams, to push past my limits, and to do what makes me happy. Mom and Dad, even at every game I've ever played, sat in parking lots during every late night practice, and attended every school function. There are no 2 people more supportive and loving than you are, and I will forever be grateful for how hard you both worked to make sure I could be involved in everything I was, and there was a lot. At Old Bridge, there's something for everyone, and there are easy ways to find your groups within the student body. With so many students, our passions were bound to vary, but there was also a club for nearly everything. Even with such diverse interests, there are still memories many of us share. We all suffered through our time at the GNC. We cheered together at pinkouts and watched the same beautiful sunsets over this very field. We attended homecomings with our friends and danced awkwardly as our teachers stared us down, no doubt judging who could dance and who couldn't. And we explored the main building together and all the new things that came with it. We were proud when we had classes with juniors and seniors, and confident when we sat among them at lunch. Probably a little too confident, but at least we weren't freshmen anymore. When it came time for Battle of the Classes, it was finally our turn to yell, "You don't go here." And among all the newness, we began to strengthen the relationships that made here feel like home. You'd be lying if you say you didn't come into high school thinking 2020 was the coolest year to graduate. 2020 vision, right? Yikes. While we missed some senior milestones like prom and Disney, and for us nerds, one last normal AP exam season, we certainly have had the most unusual senior year. We had our homecoming and an amazing senior dinner cruise, and don't forget 3 final marking periods with our best friends without the pressure of knowing it would soon end. A lot has happened since 2020 started. Fires ravaged Australia, rumors of World War III circulated, the president's impeachment trial began. These all happened in the first half of January. Pretty soon, a pandemic would spread across the world, and nothing could surprise us anymore, not even the mysterious killer hornets. While quarantined, some of us utilized our time to stay connected, learn a new skill, or focus in on a hobby. Others downloaded TikTok. Either way, it's impossible to ignore the social issues buzzing across the nation. Every generation believes they're the ones who will change the world. And for good or for bad, every generation does. You can argue that each generation becomes more tolerant than the last, but tolerance is not the goal. Empathy, love, respect, these are the things we should be striving for. Sometimes in life, we are so focused on the next big thing. My favorite Hamilton song reminds us, this is not a moment, it's the movement. Protests and elections are important, yes, but take it a step further. Educate yourselves. Ask questions. Listen. Be compassionate when others are struggling. Be kind and understand that you don't have all the answers. Our generation is fearless and we fight for what we believe in. I've played a lot of sports in my life, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you always have more to give. When you're running and running and running, and you feel like your legs can't make it another step, you will surprise yourself because you are stronger than you know. There will be setbacks in our future, but to change the world for the better, we must make sure that this movement continues. When we step out into the world, we will likely face ignorance, but we are not a soft generation. We just hold each other accountable. We will keep the momentum this year has given us to propel ourselves into a future we create. We will push towards empathy and understanding amid hate and ignorance. Graduates, you have the power to decide who you will be in 5 years. You can influence our generation's legacy. Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." So I leave you with this. What kind of world do you want to live in 5 years from now? And how will you help make it a reality? Congratulations, class of 2020.
Excellent, Jordan. Thank you so much. Never a good sign when the balloons are popping, but we'll push through. During any troubling times, we look to a leader to get us through that. And there's no greater example in Old Bridge than our superintendent of schools, who's done an amazing job over the past 4 months, setting the stage and allowing us to have this moment, our graduation day. And so without further ado, I'd like to announce and welcome to the stage our superintendent of schools, Mr. David Cittadino.
Well, greetings everyone. Greetings to our families, guests, and most important, our students that are here behind us. This is our last Old Bridge High School 2020 ceremony, so let's make this the best one. A lot of audience participation, a lot of applause, especially when I'm speaking. So there's this thing like the butterfly effect, and you change one thing that's normal, and its impact changes many things infinitely. So we had March 12th, change everything that we're used to, and things changed. And then what was the result of that? We even had an airplane, a beach plane fly over Old Bridge. Now I'm looking at Lombardi Field and I see beach umbrellas. And soon, Officer McCauley is going to check beach badges on the field. It's all going to change. And we wouldn't have had this experience without all coming together and believing that we can still press on during tough times. So these students behind us, they came into the world right at our toughest times. The waters were turbulent. We had just witnessed a terrorist attack of 9/11. In the year afterwards, these students were born. And the days after that, the months, the years, we became stronger as a nation, more resolved to become united, be stronger, and come together as Americans. As our students get ready to leave high school, we're still in troubled waters. We have an unknown enemy that we can't see. We're fighting our own inner demons that create division within us. But I'm confident that these students, I've seen their maturity, I've seen their patience, their unselfishness as they've lost or had postponed so many events, but they became stronger together, stuck by one another, and they've exemplified the leadership we need in the future to unite us once again. And that can be and will be more important than anything we can provide in a textbook, that level of teamwork. So I say to this Board of Education, to our Board Vice President, that I can attest that all of the students that are sitting behind me have met or exceeded the graduation requirements set forth by the Department of Education and by the power vested in me by the great state of New Jersey and the governor's office. I can say that you are all Old Bridge High School graduates of the class of 2020. Let's get together. Let's unite this country. Let's go. Let's cheer for them. Let's stand up and let's cheer for our students.
And with that said, this is the moment for the past 4 months we've been fighting to get to announce and recognize each of the graduates of the class of 2020 and let them hear their name called as they so proudly have worked to this moment. So at this time, I'd like to call Vice Principals Mrs. Sally Fazio and Mr. Richard Mazurek to the podium, and we'll begin the acknowledgement of graduates.
Armand Rahim,
Johan Sebastian Ramirez,
Jaden Brandon Ramos,
Juliana Nicole Rapachulo,
Maxim Rosnovsky,
Katie Ray,
Jesse Julio Joseph,
Dennis Rogordsky,
Crystal Kayla Redfield,
Grace Bouchetta,
Gavin Riley,
Faith Lynn Reed,
Jade Jeanette Reynoso,
Daniel Joseph Renna,
Daniela Rios,
Olivia Resti,
Kasim Rizvi,
Alyssa Ritchie,
James Thomas Charles Rizzo,
Brianna Rivera,
Andrew Bullis,
Samantha Rizzi,
Christian Rocchio,
Jaden Rizzo,
Paloma Rodriguez,
Matthew Rabayo,
Jerry Rodriguez Jr.,
Omer Asser,
Alexa Cipriana Roman,
Christopher Roddy,
Michael Roman,
Aaron Rodriguez,
Amanda Rosenblatt,
Olivia Rodzik,
Jake Rosinski,
Laura Ramilia,
Tyler Aiden Ruck,
Dominic Rosiak,
Joanna Russo,
Alana Rosenberg.
Tiago Sa.
Victoria Radusky.
Gabriel Salazar.
Dominic Gabriel Sabito.
Citral Small.
Sulman Sadet.
Mohammed Sajid.
Victor Salamea.
Kamal Jaden Sanders.
Iman Fawaz Sohab.
Caleb Jaden Espiritu Santiago.
Abraham Samuel.
Natalie Schaefer.
John Michael Sansota.
Cesare Sciano DeCola.
Joseph Santora.
Samantha Schoenberg.
Gregory Lawrence Sherman.
Dylan Thomas Schroeder.
Kristen Smalls.
Gabriella Scotto.
Charles Shuttle.
Casey Sepper.
William Schussler.
Hisham Shafi.
Medina Sella.
Rita Shah.
Gianna Marie Scotto.
Leanna Shaknovsky.
Fahil Syed.
RJ Shanley.
Wajiha Sheikh.
Gabrielle Shields.
Mariam Shamim.
Gavin Christopher Short.
Michelle Shao.
Vladimir Shvets.
Zakah Sharif Jones.
Tausif Siddiqui.
Mohammed Shiraz.
Jenna Rose Simonson.
Haresh Shucharan.
Karanjeet Singh.
Gabriella Shalensky.
Nicholas Sklyarenko.
Nia Jane Skibnewski.
Angelina Smith.
Eric Siciliano.
Ryan Terrell Smith.
Jazib Siddiqui.
Monica Sosha.
Paranveer Singh.
Giuseppe Soma.
Jacob Smiljan.
Daniel Spall.
Paige Delaney Smith.
Christiana St. Just.
Taylor Grace Smith.
Jaden Stares.
Matthew Joseph Solano.
Rebecca Stein.
Nicole Somahano.
Anthony Solikowski.
Charisma Sparklin.
Zaira Saeed.
Rachel Stahl.
John Richard Zuminski.
Melanie Stark.
Joseph Tackman.
Tyler Sudol.
Thomas Tagliaferro.
Amrutha Varshni Swamatham.
Rachel Tavares.
Jillian Simukindes.
Andrea Elizabeth Tesla.
Mukadasa Tariq.
Amanda Thevon.
Anthony Tart.
Dylan Tomaso.
Sebastian Antonio Talikian.
Giuseppe Tonabeni.
Emmy Haley Ty.
Matthew Pasquale Tranchino.
Angel Thomas.
Jenna Turchi.
Nicholas Tucci.
Christian Tavanik.
Jordan Totten.
Gilberto Vega.
Arland Trabista.
Juliana Velyu.
Thomas Travato.
Cole Walker.
Julia Rose Tuso. Jeremy Robert Valerie. Patrick Vega. Colin Vieira. Philip Vagodner. Evan Villafranca. Rachel McCall Villaroma. Justin Vinhas. Jonathan Veras. Shania Bandishafhausen. Lucas Vu. Mark Ahmad Waba. Liam Walker. Taylor Ward. Kimberly Wares. Savannah Warner. Jason Washington. Rachel West. Mary Elizabeth Wester. Kayla Westerlund. James Dakota White. Sean J. Williams. Anthony Wilson. Will Wilson. Audrey Wilson. Eric Woodkowski. Paige Wachowitz. Jewel Sierra Works. Nicholas Raitt. Jade Wurst. Caroline Whitanis. Desrael Jillian Yarborough. Carly Yarzenbowitz. Mame Yabowitz. Balboa. Jennifer Ying. Ayman Youssef. Philip Young. Brooke Zolan-Kalvich. Maha Zera. Lilia Zenjabil. Anastasia Zelisko. Zane Simmerlink. Ava Michelle Zolfo. Victoria Siskowski. Kevin Tomlin. Round of applause for our graduates.
Let's hear it. 729 graduates, Old High School class of 2020. At this time, I'd like to call the vice principal of the 12th grade to the podium. She will give our farewell speech to the class of 2020. She is as much a part of the fabric of this class as any one of those 729 students. She's a wonderful administrator and a great person, Mrs. Sally Fazio.
Good morning, and thank goodness for a clap. I would like to first acknowledge all of you, parents, family members sitting out there, because if it wasn't for you, this moment would not be possible. So graduates, how about a round of applause for your family? Class of 2020, we began our journey 3 years ago when you walked into the main building on that first day, September 2017, and it feels like a lifetime ago. I know it might sound crazy, but I knew at that moment how special you guys really were. The energy during your sophomore day opening assembly was magical. The light that shone from you during those first conversations in the hallways was so bright. And as the years went on, your light became more brilliant, your spirit more dynamic, and your love for each other only grew stronger. Together as a class, we have laughed, loved, cried, sang, danced, and learned the hard way to appreciate life a little more. And abruptly and unexpectedly on March 12th, our journey came to a screeching halt. But no complaints from you, no feeling sorry for yourselves. You rose by lifting others. Your resilience shone through your positivity and in every moment of that writing solo video. You have left an indelible mark on Old Bridge High School and on me, and the class of 2020 will always be remembered. Honestly, I miss you more than you know. I miss you running into my office for a Jolly Rancher, hearing the recaps of your weekends in the hallways, sharing a laugh or two at the Bridge Boys cafeteria table, pep talks to calm your big game nerves in the parking lot, and hugs everywhere. And oh, how I miss your hugs. I miss that most of all, but I am truly blessed and I genuinely appreciate how lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. So now, guys, it is your time to leave your Old Bridge High School home. Time to look ahead. Time to make your life amazing. Time to create a new path, a new scene, a new journey. Time for you to take these tough lessons that you learned this year and grab hold of your dreams and make them your happily ever after. But no matter what path you choose or where your journey will take you, I know deep down that this class will do it with heart, with grace, and above all, with love. Remember that once you are one of my kids, you will always be one of my kids. And you will forever have a peace in my heart and know that you will always be welcomed home. So the English teacher and me will close with a Fazio acrostic advice poem entitled Class of 2020. Parents, excuse my back because I am going to turn it to you. Hi, guys. C, choose kindness. L, lead with love. A, appreciate life a little more. S, show people they matter. S, stay positive and laugh often. O, open your hearts to hope. F, faith over fear. 2, 2020 treasured Old Bridge High School memories to hold. 0, 0 moments taken for granted. 2, 2020 focus and vision for your next chapter. And 0 regrets. And always know that I will love you more. Okay, once I announce that you are officially alumni of the class of 2020, that would be the time you would want to throw your caps in the air. Okay, you ready? Not yet, not yet. Turning of the tassel at graduation ceremonies represent a culmination of 4 years of hard work to reach this milestone that you have reached today. This is the last act you will perform as Old Bridge High School students. And remember, once a night, always a night. Class of 2020, please stand. Yes, Viola, you know I'm right. Old Bridge High School, class of 2020, please move your tassels from the right to the left. You are now alumni of Old Bridge High School.
All right, guys, have a seat. We're almost started here. Before we go, I would once again like to thank all of our faculty and staff in attendance today. They've been here in the early morning, each of the last 2 days, getting our stadium ready for these ceremonies. And I cannot thank you enough for your help and assistance. I would also like to take this moment. We had 5 staff members from the high school retire this year. Mr. Drew Devine, 29 years. Miss Christine Gotch, 20 years. Our receptionist at the high school, Miss Cindy Marr, 25 years. Roberta Monjoy, 33 years. And Mr. Craig Wood, 18 years. Thank you for your service. I would like to remind all parents that at the high school, in front of the main entrance, hopefully they're still there and they didn't all pop, but we do have some really nice stage picture, podium set up, balloon arches. We encourage you to leave Lombardi Field, head down 516 to Old Bridge High School. It's a wonderful opportunity for you and your family to take beautiful pictures in front of our school. The only thing missing from today's ceremony is the fact that we could not walk into our traditional pomp and circumstance. However, we will walk out to our pomp and circumstance recessional. And we will be led by Mr. Scott Beverly, one of our class advisors, Mr. James Phillips, one of our class advisors, and Mr. Ryan Geist, our third of the class of 2020 class advisors. So at this time, I would ask all graduates to please stand Mr. Allspark, we're ready. Congratulations, stay safe, and go Knights. Please keep the middle of the field open. Our graduates will proceed down the 50-yard line for their final walk across this field.
That way, that way, that way. Congratulations.
Thank you for being awesome.
Thanks, guys.